Khammam is one of the milestones of Kakatiya kingdom. So we came here in search of the Khammam fort. Today, it is an industrial town and a busy marketplace. But the remains of its glorious past can be seen on the way and inside the fort. The fort is situated on a hill, Stambhadri. Construction of Khammam fort was initiated around 950 AD when Andhra was ruled by Kakatiya dynasty. The Reddy kings Velma and Laksham were actively involved in the construction of the fort. In 1531, Qutub Shahi kingdom took over the charge of the fort. Today, we see a hillock surrounded by a walled city. The massive fort wall and huge gates are still in use. We came to Warangal during Diwali. Today is Lakshmi Pujan. A small boy is busy in painting the Lakshmi statue in this roadside shop. The shop looks colorful. Lot of people are buying the statues here. We are walking towards Bhadrakali temple. It's built on a hilltop. The road to temple weaves through green woods, small hamlets and passes nearby a large shining lake. We can see the face of statue from here. It is very beautiful and serene, which is different from normally seen Kali in Bengal. Today is Diwali and atmosphere is very festive. People offer special puja today. Everybody is beautifully dressed. Women are showing off their ornaments. It's really very special to be here on the day of Lakshmi Pujan. Dvitiya Pulakeshi is said to have worshipped the goddess after his victory over Vengi region of Andhra in 625 AD, that is around 1500 years ago. The lake nearby presents an enchanting surrounding. Hari, the minister of Ganpati Deva, constructed this lake and rode to the temple. Today's Hanamkonda is a modern city, but it has a history of 1000 years. The great Kakatiya rulers of Andhra made it their first capital. The temple is reared on star-shaped Jagati. The deities are in square sanctum. The sanctum is fronted by Antarala to a Rangamandapa. There is a long portico at south. The 1000-pillar temple is perhaps the first Kakatiya monument. Thus we are standing in front of a temple which is continuously visited and worshipped for last 1000 years by kings and commons. The temple is crowded and mood is joyful. Ladies in their silks and wearing special ornaments. Groups are enjoying. Today is Diwali, the most auspicious festival. The deities are decorated with special flowers. Purohits are busy. Three deities, namely Rudradeva, that is Shiva, Vasudeva, that is Vishnu, and Surya, the sun, are enshrined here. Kakatiya king Rudradeva built this temple in 1162-63. We are stunned by the fineness of the sculptures. Details of the intricate work look like silver ornaments. Between temple and portico is a plain pavilion housing a huge Nandi, now open to the sky. The details of Nandi's ornaments are fascinating. The sculpture is so very beautiful that you feel at any moment young beautiful lively bull will get up and start running. There is a step tank, a pushkarini. By the side of this tank, there is a pillar inscription of the time of Rudradeva. This inscription gives a graphic description of Hanamkonda, its learned scholars, and damsels of the beautiful city. We are at Warangal Fort ruins, which are 3 kilometers away from the Warangal railway station. This was a walled city built by Kakatiya kings. Right now also there is some village inside the fort walls. Here are some ruins of the ancient fort. Warangal and Hanamkonda are the symbols of past glory of Kakatiya dynasty, the Telugu-speaking Hindu rulers of Andhra during 1100 to 1323. These were the golden ages of Andhra. These kings encouraged literature, art, architecture. They built wonderful temples and palaces. Prola II was the first independent ruler with Hanamkonda as the seat of power during 1116 to 1157. His successor Rudradeva 1158 to 1195 extended the kingdom northwards up to the Godavari Delta. He built a fort at Warangal to serve purpose of second capital. The later kings added on other beauties to the fort. The next ruler was Mahadeva, who strengthened and expanded the kingdom to the coastal Andhra during his short rule. His son Ganpati Deva, 1199 to 1262, was the greatest among all. He annexed the territories of Nellore, Kadapa, and Kurnool. He had maritime trade links with countries of Far East and Sri Lanka. Ganpati Dev was succeeded by his daughter Rudramma Devi from 1262 to 1289. She was a great queen. She practiced able governance and also she was very brave. She conquered Yadavas of Devagiri. Thus she acquired the regal title of Raya Gajakesari. Her grandson Pratap Rudra came to throne in 1289 AD and ruled till 1323. He was the last ruler. Muhammad bin Tughlaq defeated him and sent him to Delhi, but Pratap Rudra died midway. Thus came the end of Kakatiya dynasty. Thereafter, Warangal fell into the hands of Bahamani, Qutub Shahi, and lastly to the Nizam of Hyderabad. The fort and temple fell into the ruins. This beautiful formation is constructed by the fallen remains of a temple. The evening sun is enhancing the beauty of the carvings. This ornamental lion is a part of a fallen roof. I can thread my fingers through the intricate stonework. So very delicate. It is a work done by a master. When I look at this sculpture, she doesn't look like a dancer to me. She seems to be a dignified lady with a typical royal headgear. Is she Rudramma Devi with the majestic lions on her sides? This is Hamsa Toran, the famous majestic gates of Warangal Fort. It is 40 feet high with long monolithic columns fitted into each other, with unbelievably delicate sculpture for its size. One can see two Hamsas on both sides, which has given the name to this Torana. These Hamsas are emblems of Kakatiyans. There are 4 gates like this in each direction around the fort. By seeing the grandeur of the gate, one can imagine the grandness of the original fort. We came across this temple of Shiva in fort area. Unlike other temples, it is live. Villagers worship the deity. The temple is well maintained. It was a good change to see that at least a small temple of the great Kakatiyans is still live and is being worshipped. We are on the way to Palampet to see famous Ramappa temple. This is a border area between Andhra Pradesh and Chhattisgarh.
అమ్మా నన్ను కన్న తల్లి నీ కన్నీటి పాటనై మళ్ళీ మళ్ళీ వస్తున్నాను.
Simple smiling tribals meet us on the road. It's a beautiful road. As we travel along, lush green rice fields and deep green woods surround us. The area is blessed by Godavari. The strong rocky hills and shining lakes add to the beauty.
అని జనం పాట పాడుతాను
జనం పాట పాడుతాను
రేలా రే రే అని రేలా పాట పాడుతాను
రేలా పాట పాడుతాను.
Ramappa Temple, locally known as Ramappa Gudi, is regarded as the brightest gem in the galaxy of medieval Deccan temples. It is the most elaborate example within a massive stone prakara. The main temple facing east has a pyramidal shikhara of brick of 4 tiers, Chatusthara, externally cruciform on plan, fronted by an antarala vestibule with a Sukhanashi roof extending in height up to the third bhumi and falling in line with the horizontal decor of the main shikhar. The elevated star-shaped Jagati platform provides ample circumambulatory space around. Pradakshina. A notable feature is that the shikhar above the awning is made up of featherweight spongy bricks specially used to reduce the weight of superstructure. There were balustraded steps to enter the temple on all 3 sides. The door frames of the sanctum and Ardha Mandapa are very elaborate and intricately carved with creeper scrolls, Makara Torana on the lintel and Patra Lata or creepers with inset figures of dancers. These are musical columns. When one hits lightly on these, the stone columns produce musical notes. It is amazing. This is one of the wonders of South Indian temples. It is supported by massive black basalt pillars. These pillars are decorated with carvings showing dancing groups, Puranic stories, Hamsas, and many other pictures. Here also there is a Natya Mandap. The ceiling is octagonal and has intricate workmanship all over. The panels are amazing. Natya Shiva, Gajantaka, Tripurantaka. These panels are outstanding.
The Sabha Mandapa had elongated projecting porches on three sides. The roof is supported by dwarf pillars all around. These pillars are famous for their overhanging brackets, which contain tall, slim figures of Nayikas. Nagini, Madanika and Rati are the masterpieces among all the figures. Remind you of famous Vishnu Mandir of Belur in Karnataka, where Queen Shantala used to offer her puja once to the day.
जटाकटाह संभ्रम भ्रमन् निलिम्प निर्झरि विलोल वीचि वल्लरी विराजमान मूर्धनि धगद् 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 ज्वलल्ललाट पट्ट पावके किशोर चन्द्रशेखरे प्रति प्रतिक्षणं मम धराधरेन्द्र नन्दिनी विलास बन्धु बन्धुरस्फुरन्ति गन्ध सन्तति प्रमोदमान मानसे कृपाकटाक्ष धोरणी निरुद्ध दुर्धरापदि क्वचित् चिदम्बरे मनो विनोद मे तु वस्तुनि जटाभुजङ्ग पिङ्गलस्फुरत्फणामणि प्रभः कदम्ब कुङ्कुमद्रव प्रलिप्त दिग्वधूमुखे कान्तसिन्धुरस्फुरत्वदुत्तरीय मेदुरि मनो विनोदमद्भुतं बिभर्तु भूतभर्तरि सहस्रलोचनं प्रवृत्य शेषलेख शेखरं प्रसूनधूलिधोरणि विदुसराङ्घ्रिपीठभूजङ्गराजमालया निबद्ध जातचूटकं श्रियै चिराय जायतां चकोरबन्धुशेखरा
The Nandi Mandapa is very special. The statue of Nandi is massive, a beautiful looking Nandi, a classic example of Kakatiyan art. One can discern the veins under the skin of the bull. The ornaments of Nandi are worth copying in today's fashion world. I have heard that Nandi is always in an alert posture, looking at Shiva and waiting for his order. It's a symbol of awareness. So, as you enter the temple, you first worship Nandi. Be aware like him, concentrate all your energy on Shiva, and then step in the inner center. This is a stone inscription in the temple area. This temple is built in 1213 AD by Rechirla Rudraya. Ramappa temple complex is a large one. Somewhere the remaining platforms tell us that many more beautiful temples were existing here. There is a temple which is slowly decaying. One can go in and see the mysteriously collapsing rock pillars and roof. This is very saddening. Maybe after some years, the only platform will remain there.
బండెనక బండి గట్ట పదారు బళ్ళు గట్ట ఏ బల్లే వస్తావు కొడుకో నైజాము సరుకరోడా బండెనక బండి గట్టి పదారు బళ్ళు గట్టి ఏ బల్లే వస్తావు కొడుకో నైజాము సరుకరోడా కాదీల మిల్చి డోరో నైజాము సరుకరోడా.
When we were travelling back to Warangal, we came across a protest march of local tribal groups. Because of lack of understanding of language, we could not make out what they were asking. But it seems there is a lot of unrest in the area.
పోలీసు మిలిటరీ రెండు బలవంతులానుకోని నువ్వు పల్లెలు దోసివి కొడుకో ఆహా పల్లెలు దోసివి కొడుకో బండి కట్టి 16 బళ్ళు కట్టి ఏ బండే వస్తావు కొడుకో నైజాము సర్కరోడ నాజీల మించినవురో నైజాము సర్కరోడా జాగీరుదారులంతా
Right now we are in the famous bazaar around Charminar. Eid and Diwali were at the same time, so it was overcrowded. Charminar is the best known landmark and symbol of Hyderabad. Sultan Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah built the Charminar in 1591. It's a stately rectangular building with 4 slender minarets, each 53 meters high, and a tiny mosque on the second floor. Legend says that the Charminar was built as a talisman to drive away a dreaded epidemic that once ravaged the city. We are standing at Fateh Darwaza, the main entrance of Golconda Fort. We travelled 11 kilometers from Hyderabad to see this magnificent fort, famous for its engineering marvels and diamonds. Fateh is victory. Fateh Darwaza was named after Aurangzeb's victory over the Qutub Shahi. The engineering marvels of Golconda Fort start at Fateh Darwaza. A handclap under its dome can be heard 1 kilometer away on the highest point of the fort at Balahisar Pavilion. This system was useful as a signal to the king in case of emergency or invasion. As we start climbing the hill fort, a history of 800 years unfolds in front of us. Golconda literally means Shepherd's Hill. There is an interesting story. In 1143, on the rocky hill then called Mangalavaram, a shepherd boy came across an idol. The Kakatiya ruler at that time built a mud fort around the holy spot. For 200 years, the fort was ruled by Kakatiyas. After them, Bahamani rulers took possession and Golconda became capital of major province. Around 1507, Qutub Shahi kings came to power. From then, over a period of 62 years, the mud fort was expanded into a massive fort of granite extending around 5 kilometers in circumference. The Qutub Shahi ended in 1687 with the conquest of the fort by Aurangzeb, who almost completely destroyed the fort and left it in a heap of pathetic ruins. Golconda was once renowned for the diamonds found nearby and cut in the city. India at that time had the only known diamond mines. The fortress city within the walls was famous for diamond trade. Its name had come to be associated with great wealth. Many famed diamonds are said to have been excavated in the mines of Golconda, which include the Kohinoor, the Hope Diamond, and the Regent Diamond.
We visited Salarjung Museum to see Nizam's jewels. Wonderful diamonds, rubies, emeralds, and many other gems were arranged in heavily guarded museum. One large beautiful diamond was displayed in a cabinet. There is a story that this diamond was used by Nizam as paperweight. The cost of this diamond is 400 crore rupees. Incidentally, some days ago, we had visited Nagarjun Sagar Dam, and it was written there that it costed 400 crore rupees, which was donated by other countries. Thus, when Indian government was begging for funds, this diamond was lying as a paperweight in Nizam's treasury.
The main structure of the fort is laid out in a sequence of enclosures that holds the public and administrative structures to the royal residences and halls. Now we are visiting Rani Mahal. These palaces are built on massive platforms. They had high ceilings and walls covered with decorative niches, alcoves, and cornices. These are essentially Persian in design. The tall wooden columns, now lost, reveal the bare structure of the triple vaulted hall. Delicate arabesques in the roundels above the side arches constitute the elegant ornamentation on stucco. The Rani Mahal in its heydays contained a world of luxury envied by the grand Mughals themselves. Golconda is also famous for the love story of Bhagmati and Quli Qutub Shah. The romance of the crown prince Quli Qutub Shah with a dancer named Bhagmati evoked great curiosity and controversy in Golconda.
दीवाना
Bhagmati was a Hindu dancer in the court of Prince and much older than him. This created quite a scandal in the court. The Orthodox society was not ready to accept her. When Sultan Ibrahim, father of the prince, heard this tale of dangerous passion, he was alarmed and forbade the prince from meeting Bhagmati. Beautiful women from Armenia, Persia, Arabistan and different parts of India were brought to entertain the prince, but none could take him away from Bhagmati. After ascending the throne, Muhammad Quli Qutub Shah defied all traditions and married Bhagmati and made her his queen. He rechristened her Hyder Mahal. Later, he built a new capital near Golconda and named it Hyderabad in honor of Bhagmati, who was now Hyder Mahal. The ascent of 380 steps finally culminates at the Balahisar Baradari, which is a wind-swept pavilion. This has 12 arches. It is a big triple-storied structure used as a darbar hall. It is divided by substantial piers into vaulted bays. The Baradari shows yet another engineering marvel. It has natural air conditioning. This is provided by a gap in the double walls which sucks the air and releases it with accumulated pressure in the chambers. A raised chamber has triple arches and it opens off the rear wall. There is a small temple on top carved out of a huge boulder. This belongs to Kakatiya period and is of goddess Kali.
In 1518, Ibrahim Quli Qutub Shah built this small mosque, but it has very beautiful corner minarets. The vast courtyard extends up to the ramparts, and one can get a spectacular views of landscapes for miles from here.
తల్లికి మల్లె పూదండ మా కన్న తల్లికి మంగళారతులు మా తెలుగు తల్లికి మల్లె పూదండ మా కన్న తల్లికి మంగళారతులు కడుపులో బంగారు కనుచూపులో కరుణ కడుపులో బంగారు కనుచూపులో కరుణ చిరునవ్వులో సిరులు దొరలించు మా తల్లి మా తెలుగు తల్లికి మల్లె పూదండ మా కన్న తల్లికి మంగళారతులు గలగలా గోదారి కదలిపోతుంటేను బిరబిరా కృష్ణమ్మ పరుగులిడుతుంటేను గలగలా గోదారి కదలిపోతుంటేను బిరబిరా కృష్ణమ్మ పరుగులిడుతుంటేను బంగారు పంటలే పండుతాయి మురిపాల ముత్యాలు దొరలుతాయి మా తెలుగు తల్లికి మల్లె పూదండ మా కన్న తల్లికి మంగళారతులు అమరావతి నగర పురూప శిల్పాలు త్యాగయ్య గొంతులో తారాడు నాదాలు అమరావతి నగర పురూప తల్లి జయ